Look at this. I've got my black shirt on.
How did that happen? I never know. It's so
Like,
crazy. What's Tom gonna wear?
very priest-like. If I just had a little collar.
Well, we decided the last show we are calling you Father Tom, so it
Father
all works
Tom.
out exactly right. I'm Melinda McKinsey.
I'm Tom Wise. Thanks for stopping by and unpacking some shit.
Gonna unpack some shit. And I want to point out, even though I don't have on my leopard coat and my glasses, I'm still rich from the Super Bowl.
You've got to be buzzing. You'll be buzzing until we get into. So, what do you think you'll bet on next? Baseball? Did you
You know
know
what? What?
the baseball futures bets are out now? You
I
could
don't
bet. You could bet on the Seattle Mariners to win the World Series. If you bet $100, you could win $20,000.
really. You know what, Tom? This could be my new addiction.
They've
Like
got to win though.
I have to do one bet per sport, right? Like I did the Super Bowl. I can't do that again. That's tired. I already
Done.
Super Bowl. So maybe that's what I should do is just, yeah, okay, you're going to have to teach me. I know nothing about gambling and the money's still sitting there. I haven't done anything. So I want to do something cool with it, right? I don't want to just spend it or whatever. So yeah, so we'll do something with that. And speaking of the Super Bowl, we didn't really talk about the commercials a lot. Are all the commercials the same amount of time? Are they all the same cost? Like, what's the breakdown on
I
that?
think I think there's a wave or a bell curve. I'm sure of it that maybe they are all the same. But I looked it up. It's $5 million for a 30-second commercial.
Five?
That oat guy spent $5 million for 30 seconds of him singing oats in the middle
Please
of it.
explain. I love oat milk and I actually use it all the time, but that was the worst commercial I've ever seen in my life.
Here's the thinking. I don't disagree. Here's the thinking goes, if people are talking about it, then
You're right.
was it the worst?
You're right. Because I think I was talking to my sister at the time it came on. We were on the phone, and I said, "Wait a minute, what's happening here?" And she said, "Oh, that's the CEO of like the company." And I said, "Well, do you think they had a meeting?" Or he just said, "Don't worry about it, guys. I'm just going to stand in a field of oats and sing my song." And I was like, "Wow, that was bad. That was really
Well,
bad."
that's kind of like the GoDaddy did that 7 years ago.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
That's
that's that you get on the map, but it's $5 million. How much
true.
oat
Holy
milk from a
cow.
specific? See, here's the deal, though. Oat milk, you can walk into any store today and buy oat milk.
That's true.
So, what was the guy's brand? That's the key.
What do you think? I mean, who do you
I think that he did a great job for talking about oat milk or having us talk about oat milk, but I didn't
okay.
know the brand name.
Yeah,
He should
that's
have said, he should have been, oat milk, oat milk, oat milk, Larry's oat milk, Larry, oat milk, Larry, oat milk,
yeah,
I mean, so now, okay, I'm thinking oat milk, I'm thinking Larry.
yeah,
So
yeah.
he didn't push his brand. And I was like, I mean, I like guerrilla marketing like that.
Okay.
You shake things up. That's one of the things that those, you see the unicorn shitting out a rainbow turd into a ice cream cone and it's for
Yeah.
squatty potty,
Yes.
right? They're
You'll always remember that.
you always remember that. And I get it. And I understand that. And I'm a big fan of that, breaking the, you know,
Yeah.
and then, by showing something that's weird. Like I'm starting my B-roll with Patrick pulling the tape apart. I'm selling these tapes. So it's
Okay.
like, I think anybody watching that goes, what exactly, let me stay tuned to find out what
What
this
is
is that he's
that?
doing.
Like, is it sexual? What's going to happen?
Hopefully it's a sex toy. So I think I would have liked it better if the guy would have branded himself and also would have differentiated himself. I read a marketing book a long time ago, and the guy says, just don't do generic ads. Tell the customer why you're different. So he could have done Larry's oat milk, only organic oats, or only oats
Yeah.
from Finland, or give me something to choose your brand over something else.
Yeah. How about that? Well, but you're right.
Whatever.
We are talking about it, and
Yeah.
it was different because it didn't have a lot of glitz. It was just him in the oats playing some terrible music.
It seems very ego maniacal.
That's what I thought. I thought, am I just being hard on this guy? Because I'm like, oh, you love yourself so much that you just want to be like, I can play the what was he playing? A little
It was like, remember Chandler? Was it Chandler in on Friends.
I don't know if it was
The
Chandler.
brother sister. No, the brother sister.
Oh, Ross.
Ross. So Ross had a little Casio that he would play.
Okay.
It was very
Yeah,
Ross
maybe.
like, I thought.
You know, I should research it because you know what? It's not fair that I'm attacking him because I don't really know. Maybe there's some more thought that had gone into it. Clearly, if you're going to spend that kind of money,
Did you see the Edward Scissorhands commercial?
I loved it.
I was watching that. I'm going, I think that's the same woman that was actually in the movie.
Um.
I know the answer.
Oh yeah, Winona Ryder.
Yeah, that was Winona Ryder.
Yeah, she looks the same.
So she
Winona
reprised
Ryder.
her role.
Yes.
And apparently Vanity Fair, I didn't read the article, but Vanity Fair said something about Johnny Depp. It wouldn't have been fun if Johnny Depp. Oh no, he's on the outs now with all this stuff.
All the wife beating and stuff. It's working against.
Who hasn't beaten the wife once or twice?
You know, it used to work in your favor if you beat the wife, and now all of a sudden there's a big turnaround.
Oh, we love mobs. We love mobsters. And Tony, what's his name from New Jersey, but we don't like the beating.
Nobody likes it. Well, we'll see what maybe this whole trial that's going on now for impeachment, maybe that will bring beatings back. Let's see.
I thought this was the worst haircut I've ever had in my life. And now it's 2 weeks later, it's starting to shape into something.
Why do you think it was the worst?
It was just unruly in the beginning.
Oh, and you go to the same place?
Yeah, it's Fantastic Sam's.
There you go.
The
Okay.
Hungarian woman cut my hair. She did a great job.
Okay.
8 months ago, but you can't get it. You can't count on her being there. And she's an anti-masker.
Yeah, well, yeah, you got it. That whole mask thing really causes a divide. I've recognized that with having conversations where you think someone's fairly normal, and then something will come up and they'll go, "Well, I'm not having my freedoms taken away." And then I was like, "Oh, back it up, up."
Did you see that there's a Trump dating site now?
No, please tell me that's a joke.
It's true.
Please,
Make
that's
dating great again.
No.
Here's the deal. Let's hope they all get together and then have kids that hate them. Right?
That's hilarious. Well, I think, if that is that really true though? There really is a dating site?
I saw it on Facebook.
You know what? I feel like when anything gets hot, there's a lot of spin-offs, right? A lot of spin-offs of that. And I saw an old guy post something and I loved it. I'll have to share it with you. He's like right in the camera. He's got to be like in his 70s, right? And the camera's in his face and he says, "Listen, if you support Trump, I don't want to get along with you." And he ripped into all he was very direct and he made all his points. And I thought, give this man a platform, because he was very clear. No, we're not going to be friends because you believe in racism. No, get out of here. Oh, you want to wear your pin? Wear your pin. I want to know who you are so I don't buy from your business. Put your flags up because I will not support you. You keep showing us who you are. And I was like, oh my goodness, I love this guy. Because people are complaining about cancel culture.
Right.
Well, is it cancel culture, or are people just they want to put their money in what they believe in?
Right. No, I think that if the guy from Home Depot wants to support Trump, then you can choose to go to Home Depot or you can go to Lowe's.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's important to know. Don't ever go to Hobby Lobby. Those people are crazy.
Now, just because somebody's religious doesn't make them crazy.
It's not even but thank you for pointing that out. But it's not even about them being religious. It's about how they treated their employees. Like they keep their employees under a certain amount of hours so they don't have to give them health care. And they say that God told them to do that.
Yeah. Hey, can I tell you something? We talked about this a while back about how something in a different language can be technically correct, but not really, how we would say it.
Yes.
So I've got the new instructions for the What-A-Light manual.
Okay.
Thank God they took a whack at the first turn.
Okay.
They called the instead of high, medium, low, it was
weak.
strong something, and weak.
Yes.
I like that. Listen to this first instruction.
Okay, I'm ready.
This appliance is not intended for use by person, including children, with reduced physical, sensory, or mental capabilities, or lack of experience and knowledge unless they've been given supervision or instruction concerning use of the appliance by a person responsible for their safety. Instruction number 1.
Wow. Is all that because of liability stuff? Like you just have to cover all the crazy
Who
bases?
knows what that is?
That makes it sound like it's dangerous. Like if
It's
I haven't gone to
it's a
Harvard, I can't use the water line.
It's a flashlight. Keep out of water or
Yeah.
rain for proper use. The perfect working temperature is between 0 and 40.
Huh. I do feel like there's a lot of crazy instructions. Have you, I mean, most of us don't read directions, but I feel like when I buy something new, it has crazy stuff like don't put this in the dryer. And it's like a flat iron for my hair.
Yeah, why would I do that? Exactly.
Yeah. So
needless to say, I'll be tightening up those instructions a bit.
Yeah, I would change the language on that. Just a little bit. So what kind of fun topics do you have for us?
I've got TikTok and goals.
TikTok and goals. All right. I have dating fucking nightmares. What? Red flags and millionaires.
Wow. Is that all the same person?
It could be. So I want to tell me about TikTok. What's up?
Well, it's interesting. I watch the occasional TikTok. I'm fascinated now since I can't even concentrate long enough to watch read a book anymore. Everything's 30-second bites. So I've seen the, comics are doing stuff. Moms are doing stuff. Everybody's doing stuff. But what caught my eye was women dancing. And then apparently guys send them, bad things. And then I'm wondering who is the audience for the 35-year-old in the young yoga pants doing dances. Looks nice to me, but I'm saying who's their audience? Who does she think is watching? Future husband?
Huh.
Just accumulating likes. I mean, you get 15,000 likes on these things. And then guys are sexually excited because she's in yoga pants doing a sexy dance. And then she's upset because she's getting sexual comments. I go, you're kind of like throwing, raw meat in the water. People do need to be respectful. There's no doubt about that. But you're not showing people how to, make something out of clay.
It's a tough line, Tom, because I feel like women in their mid-30s are at that point where they're feeling like their youth is fading away, right? But they're still young. But in today's world, women in their mid-30s aren't considered young anymore. And I feel like that's their way of like, look, I'm still viable, right? I'm still sexual, but can I be sexual without being sexually harassed? And that's the problem.
I think 100% they should not be harassed at all. Guys are idiots. They're rude. That's all completely wrong. But I'm saying, but who do you think you're throwing your product out to? Yes, you've got 100%. You need to be respected. And guys said, who do you think you are? And you're not that pretty. And they're assholes.
Right. Yes.
But I'm saying, so you're doing the dances for who? For old people?
Well,
yourself?
Yes, that's that. I was going to say that. Is it possible they're doing it for themselves to show like, hey, I can look what I can do.
I know, but who do you think's watching it?
Well, I don't know that everybody's considering that part of it. I mean, I feel like because you and I are in sales, we're always thinking about who we're speaking to, right? Who am I talking to? Because we're in sales. I feel like people that are posting things that are not familiar with how harsh the world can be, they're maybe not considering.
Ooh, special guest coming in.
We have a special guest coming in.
This is the cooking segment is now a new segment.
Let me show everybody.
What is that?
This is a miso caramel eggplant that
Of course it is, Patrick. Of course it is. Yes. And normal vegetarian snack that's
great.
Boys make. Yes. Is that hot peppers? Is that jalapenos on the top?
They're a little bit less hot than I wish, but they're okay. They're okay. It's like a fish. It reminds me of eating fish. Takes me back to my fish eating days. Oh, there's the camera.
It reminds you of eating fish because of the way it looks.
Yeah, and the way kind of like because it has the fit, you kind of flake the.
Oh yeah, it looks like it's trout.
Doesn't it look like a trout?
Yeah.
Now, I didn't eat the
You
skin.
sneaky vegetarians. Look how you get to work all the real life stuff
I
in.
suppose you could eat the skin, but I did not.
So
It's
tell
a
me
vegetable.
again, what is it called again, Patrick? It's a what?
Just a minute, I'll show you the recipe.
See,
Take over the show.
when Patrick does stuff like this, he spent time and effort. He has studied. I mean, he didn't start out knowing.
I'm never getting married.
He didn't start out making vegetarian dishes. So I feel like what Patrick does is very multi-layered.
Look at that.
It's the
Oh,
miso.
see, it looks amazing, but is it easy to make?
Wasn't that bad.
Really?
It took him about 45 minutes. It's time. He put something in the Instapot for half an hour and
Okay.
something gets cooked. This is delicious.
I'm sure that it is. I mean, I wouldn't mind living with a vegetarian. I live with someone who cooks, who does a lot of soul food and a lot of spicy food, and I'm not a spice person. So he was making chili the other day, and I said, hey, make it the way you want it. I'm just not great with spices. So he said, okay, I'll make it less spicy for you. And I was like, oh, that's very kind. You don't have to. He made it less spicy, what he considered less spicy. I am just a white girl raised on white lady food. And when I tried it, my mouth was still on fire.
Yeah. He's Thai hot, Mr. Thai hot.
Thai hot.
And I know it's good for you, right? Didn't we learn at one point it's good for you to eat spicy food because it actually like burns calories, it's good for your digestion, all this stuff. So when you get your jalapenos, Pat, how do you know if they're spicy enough? Are there different kinds you buy?
I don't, I find the smaller ones tend to be spicier. These were really big.
Yeah, this is a big one.
Almost like a bell pepper.
You should have gotten the one of the two. I'm growing them in the backyard. I'm growing hot peppers.
Oh, is it easy to do?
It's part of his added value.
Yeah, I've added value here.
Tom has some added value, everyone. He's growing some peppers.
I keep on reminding him I'm adding to the cause here.
So you're saying if it's a smaller pepper, it's spicier.
I'm not really saying that. I've had big ones that are spicy. I haven't done a scientific scatter graph on that yet.
See, if you haven't done the scatter graph, we can't even discuss it. The scatter graph is the bar.
I'm saying as much as I can, without,
Okay, so we will not seal this conversation in carbonite because it's just not official yet. If What a Show had taken off, sealing things in carbonite would have been one of the main things we would have spun out. We would have had it on shirts and hats. We would have sealed things in carbonite. So, yeah, exactly.
Excellent.
That's delicious.
Okay, well, that's it for the baking segment.
That's it for baking.
If we want the recipe, Patrick, where do we find it?
Well, you can buy this book.
What's it called?
Oh, no. He's getting a kickback. I love
my books.
East Meets Vegan. My daughter bought this for me as a Christmas gift.
Okay, and tell me one more time, what's the name of the dish called that you just made?
Delicious.
Miso caramel eggplant.
And where's the caramel coming from? Because
it caramelizes the sweetness because I made a what do you call it? Not a roux, but a marinade.
A marinade.
And the marinade is miso paste and water and maple syrup and ginger. So
it tastes a little caramely.
So because when sugary water gets baked, it caramelizes.
Everybody knows that, Melinda.
So.
I've heard when you bake things to happen. I don't know.
When you bake things, the pizza gets done. Is that frozen pizza done yet?
No. You know what? Pizza comes from the pizza man. That's where the pizza comes from. The man that brings the pizza.
You can't even throw it in a frozen pizza?
I traditionally don't like frozen pizzas, but I will say this as a little sidebar to Wegmans. Have you heard of a grocery chain called Wegmans?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think it's down here.
Wegmans has fantastic frozen pizzas. Alex made one the other day and had me try it. I don't normally order stuff like that because it just doesn't, taste fresh, right? And it was fantastic. So I really recommend Wegmans frozen pizzas.
Oh, the endorsements are going crazy around here.
Where's product placement? You're making a fortune. Yeah,
I'm very
my son
unhappy.
Kevin lives up in Buffalo, and he talks about Wegmans.
There you go.
So
wait, he lives in Buffalo, New
Shout
York?
out to Kevin.
He does.
Oh my Lord, could he move to a colder climate? What's going on with
I
that?
guess Canada.
Yeah, he's looking for the North Pole.
Holy Lord. You know, the first time I traveled to Buffalo for work, I got off the plane, I opened up my Uber app and it said, "Oh, you're hilarious. There's no Uber here in Buffalo, New York." It took years. I had to take old taxi. They had old vans, like working moms would pull up to the airport in their vans with their kids' toys, and you would just jump in and pay them cash. It was like a totally different world going to Buffalo, New York.
That's crazy.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah. Does he like it? Buffalo?
Yeah, he really likes it.
Ooh.
Yeah, I went there. It's very hip. I went there. We did a in-town bicycle tour. We had, it's all sorts of hip. We went to the Buffalo Philharmonic Orchestra, which was walking distance from his place.
Have you gone to Niagara Falls from there?
And we did that as well.
Yeah, I did that. I would say that's a cool thing to do. I guess all the times I've worked there, I've just been in like the downtown, like, I don't know. I've never picked up on the hip vibe from Buffalo, but I believe you.
Oh, it's there.
I believe
Well,
you.
thanks for stopping by with this.
Glad to share in the stir it up.
That's right. That segment's called What's Patrick cooking?
What's Patrick stirring up?
What's Patrick stirring up?
Let's take a look at the walk.
It could be anything, but it's caramelized, vegan, looks like trout. That's what we should call it. Looks like trout.
Hang on. I'm getting a call from the United States.
What? Okay, so for the TikTok thing that we were talking about, your main concern is, who do these women think their audience is? And my answer is, I don't know that they've really taken it that far, because if you're not used to being in the public eye, you really have no concept of what that pushback is going to be.
That's very interesting. I was like, on Facebook, you can either be a friend of somebody or you can follow somebody.
Yes.
I'm not a big on the following things.
No, me either.
But I was thinking about, wouldn't it be interesting to have an influencer get behind the carry cart?
Oh,
Right?
absolutely. Yeah.
So I followed a couple of people just to see what that feels like, and anyway, every now and again, this one woman in particular pops up in my Facebook timeline,
Okay.
with a link to something. Now, sometimes it's her in a bathing suit, but sometimes it's her with a 6-minute, fails video, like, guys trying to fix something or car tips over, and in the middle of that fails video, you've got an ad.
Yeah.
Right. So the thing is 3 minutes long,
Yeah.
minute and a half in, you run an ad for whatever. So I'm saying, okay, I can see where she'll suffer the crazy comments about her in her bathing suit, because now she's got guys watching 3 minutes of this, plus she's selling ad time. Now now this makes sense.
Yes.
To throw out that bait to generate followers. And I'd say maybe I've followed 20 people like this, and only one is employing this particular strategy.
Okay. I think I asked you this before. Did you watch Fake Famous on HBO?
I do not. I think I told you this once before. I do not have the HBO.
Good Lord, man. All right. I need to give you my codes. You have to watch Fake Famous. It shows kind of how influencers, what they do in order to get to that status, and kind of what that world is like. I think it'd be really helpful for you in your work to kind of see the behind the scenes. I think
there's maybe an opportunity. I've got to get the right. See, but my person, I don't think spends a lot of time on TikTok or YouTube.
Right.
I'm looking for a 40-year-old man or woman that's got a house and a kid and wants to, they're moving or something. So I don't know that world of makeup tips and crazy dances is going to do much.
Where is your audience? Where are those guys? What are they looking at?
Well, I think they're looking at, how to fix the fridge tips, how to improve.
Are they on YouTube? Where are they getting their information?
I think they're on CBS watching the Super Bowl.
Okay. All right. No, that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Let's talk about Dating Fucking Nightmares real quick.
DFN. Yes.
Okay. So this is an actual account on Instagram called Dating Fucking Nightmares. If you ever just are in a bad mood and you want to laugh and you want to feel like your life is better, please go read this Instagram account, because all it is shared experiences, screenshots from dating apps, responses, how people are treating people. And again, just like we were talking about, where people are going out on TikTok and they don't know their audience. If you've not been on a dating app, this will show you kind of what the world is, and then maybe you won't go on a dating app because it's bad. Obviously the worst ones are being shown, right? It's still interesting. So someone posted a conversation where some guy said, hey, right off the bat, how you doing? What's your ultimate fantasy? Right off the bat.
See, this is they've turned the world into the elevator pitch, the elevator sex chat.
Yes. And so you want to guess, because obviously this is funny stuff. What do you think this woman said, or guess about what you think?
My ultimate fantasy is getting on a dating site and not having weirdos ask me crazy questions.
Here's what she said. She said to go home with a guy after a date and see that he vacuums and in his apartment has more than one pillow on his bed. That was funny, because that's hilarious. And then another point they made on this dating app is, when you're looking at the dating apps, women are saying, and this is probably works for the both sexes, men and women. It says, take a good look at the worst photo on that person's dating profile. Look at the worst photo, because that is who's showing up, or even worse. So just understand that.
I know. I get hoodwinked every time.
We've talked about this so much. I'll never understand why you want to look better on your dating app than you do in real life. I purposely never did that when I was on the apps, because I never want anybody to be disappointed or go, oh, you're much older. I was clear about my age and clear about my height and clear about what, full body shots and all that, because I don't want someone to see me and go, ugh. That's terrible. I think that's a broken way to start out, because you automatically think they're a liar. But I thought that was interesting. Find the worst photo, because they said that here's what men do. And I don't know if it's true. They said men will do group shots, so you don't know which guy it is. So there's a crowd, so you don't know the guy. Then the next shot is him with a bunch of women around him. And it's kind of like, are you trying to show me that you're popular? And then the close-up picture of him is fuzzy. So it's just like,
You've described women's photographs as well.
Really?
Well, yeah, she's at a party. She's with her daughter, sunglasses and a hat from a distance next in Paris. Like, there you go.
Yeah. My sister, many years ago, when she was on Match, she was talking to a guy, and he always had on a hat, right? And he was always smiling like this. So
bad teeth, no hair.
Yeah, he had no hair and a big gap. Not that gaps are bad, but that's why I said, the smile is important, man. If they don't show their teeth, I would be a little bit worried about that. Like, you should always show your teeth. You don't have to have perfect teeth, but you should show your teeth. But their first date, they actually went like canoeing or something interesting, which I thought.
And what you need, teeth and hair. Go on.
Well, you do need, I think teeth and hair is important. Maybe not everybody else feels that way. I don't really know.
That canoeing would be a fun trip, fun date.
I love the idea that people do something different.
Short.
You're not just sitting at a restaurant.
Yeah, a short canoe ride.
Yeah, you don't want a huge obligation, because the problem is, I personally think it would be easier during the pandemic to meet someone via Zoom and already have a script. I think Zoom, the dating app should set it up, because the problem with meeting on Zoom is you're just awkward, right? You're just, what do you say? How do you behave? But I feel like that would give you a little idea if you wanted to invest during a pandemic to see this person in real life. And then you could tell if they're 3,000 pounds or 20 years older, right? Have you tried that with your dating life?
I met one woman on Zoom.
And how did that go?
Well, great. I mean, we're friends, but it wasn't anything romantic, but it was an interesting, but yet awkward. I mean, you and I feel comfortable like this, but I mean, even then I was like, oh, this is, who knows where this is going? There's no frame of reference. I can talk about your lava lamp, or, I don't want to talk about your looks.
Right. That's what I'm saying. They should have
especially when many women or many men, I'm sure, don't put a lot of things in their bio, likes, trips, dreams, fantasies.
Yeah. What if a woman had said to you on one of the dating apps, what's your ultimate fantasy? How would you have responded?
Well, we all both know that a woman's not going to do that unless she's looking to get paid.
Or maybe she's funny.
I don't think any woman would ever say that
Yeah, you're probably right. I
unless
feel
she's
like
look. I would
as a,
think she's looking to get paid.
okay.
That's
As a
what I would
female,
think if she would say that.
you're right. As a female, I wouldn't ask that question because I feel like that'd be opening a dark door into
Of
something
course.
I don't want
Yeah.
to
I
go.
mean, yeah. But maybe, at some point, seventh conversation, might be interesting.
Well, what if she says, "What's your ultimate football fantasy?" Then what would you say?
4 topless cheerleaders, big bowl of nachos. Here we go.
There it is.
Game time, bitch.
Well, when you're on these dating sites, I found I was always lured in by men that were clever, right? Because I love
Of course.
clever, funny, but they never turned out to be great human beings. Like you could be a funny, clever guy, doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be a great human being. And so that was always very disappointing.
What do you think about going on one of these very expensive dating sites, like $2,000?
Like
Talkify.
Is that what Talkify is?
Yeah, I mean it's expensive too, $3,000.
I've never considered it. I suppose if I felt like I was like a public figure and I wanted some help, maybe, yeah. But for me, no, I don't know. I would rather.
It's interesting the type of person that would participate in that. I think it would work better for men than it would for women.
I told you that one time, I think it was Match has an alternate site that matches people up with money. And a woman had reached out to me because they were trying to find an older woman in New York. And so I was older and they reached out to me and it was a horrible experience. The guy was just very cocky and overbearing. Remember I told you, you're only supposed to give your first name so you can't Google the other person. So he gave his full name. So of course I Googled him because I want to know. And he was some commentator on, one of the financial channels. And the whole thing, it turned out to be a terrible nightmare to the point that I told the lady, please tell him I'm done. Like tell him no, because he just had a huge ego. And my thinking was, oh, since you paid a lot of money, now you think I have to bend over backwards. I have value too, bitch. Like I'm not gonna.
Yeah, we get to the sex positions later.
So, so yeah, I mean, I didn't know that that's what Talkify was. Would you do it? Would you do you think that has some?
Well, I here's my thinking. I suspect that a lot of quality women don't participate in the nonsense. Bumble, Match, whatever. Yeah. And you could clear out a lot of crazies by getting involved, because it's like living in a nice neighborhood. You price out the riffraff. You don't have a lot of hobos on the streets, and everybody takes care of their garbage can and everybody rakes their lawn. I mean, so you'd be living in a higher rent neighborhood. I have not done it yet.
Is it a guarantee? I wonder, like, will they keep working with you? That would be my question too.
It's funny though. I was involved in one of those special high-end matches. I got contacted to, there's a woman who was paying for the service and was interested in meeting me. So I ended up meeting her. She went over to her house with a private gate.
She wanted you to her home. I feel like that's very, right off the bat, you go to her house.
She was holding court. She'll have the men come in and she'll have, interview them at the house and they could see all her grandeur. And then
never do that. How did that go? Did you like her as a person, or how did you feel about it?
It's very odd. You do feel like I felt like I was being summoned, or there's an imbalance of power. I mean, I'm successful in my own right. I'm not looking to hook up with somebody that, I don't have to pay the rent.
Did she have it set up so her chair was very high and you had to sit down very low?
Kind of like the Letterman thing. No, she was very nice. And but I felt like I was auditioning for her.
Yeah.
And at the end she goes, yeah, she was talking to me about all the mutual friends we'll have, and it was kind of an odd conversation. It's like we talking about things that, she's got seasons tickets for the Buccaneers, and she does a lot. We'll do a lot of tailgating, and we'll have barbecues. Then we'll have some parties over here. It's like she's planning on our life together or something.
Wow, that's a lot. Was she old? Like, what was the age range of this woman?
We're similarly aged. She was like a CEO, but she was, there was no chemistry there. It's like,
sure. It'd be tough to meet someone the first time and have them start telling you how things were going to be.
Well, because she's in a workspace in her head. She's the boss in a workspace, but which is fine. But I mean, that's not how a relationship works.
No, that's very interesting. I mean, the relationship thing is hard for everybody. I think no matter what your age is, it's just that when you get to the point that you and I are at, I feel like we're a little bit more cynical, and we're less willing to put up with the bullshit that we would when we were younger. Because
it's hard to start at zero all the time, but you need to start at zero. You can't go in any relationship thinking, oh, the last 6, pictures were bad and whatever. It's like, if you're going to walk into the next one with a bad attitude, no, everybody deserves to be treated with respect and as a fresh person. And let's see if this matches it. If you're in your head, you're done.
Yeah.
Nobody owes you anything.
If we could find the secret to dating, I mean, I know there have been so many algorithms and companies that say they know the secret, but I feel like it's one of those things you can't really put your finger on, right? When it comes to dating, because even though, like, I think I know what I like,
right,
but I might see something over here that I hadn't considered and go, oh, well, let's see how that goes.
And the frustrating part is that I think about this in like Nolan Ryan. Are you familiar with that name? No. He was a pitcher. He was a pitcher for the Houston Astros, Hall of Fame pitcher, right?
Okay.
Well, he had, or just replace it with any athlete or anybody you think is consistently quality, produces quality results. Nolan had so many no hitters, so many strikeouts, but he also had a bad game where he'd get hit. It wasn't working for him, right?
Okay.
So even if you would meet somebody that possibly you would be great with, it could just be a bad day. So
true.
It's hard to get through all that. How much do you go? Do you take a second date, third date, figure out if we're just having a bad day? But there has to be something. You got to see if he's got some heat.
Right. And the chemistry thing is, you can't explain it. It's something that you don't know until you're in the same space with somebody, if the chemistry is going to be good. So I feel like we probably already ran out of time. I know I'm trying to be more diligent. You said 30-minute segments.
I know. We're 45 in.
Okay.
So here's what I want you to think about. I don't want to spring this on you, but this is my second topic, was goals.
Goals.
So I think that we could use this as a forum to announce personal goals we could hold ourselves to.
Oh, we have to be accountable for stuff?
Accountable. Like me saying I'm going to read a book a month. So far, we're into February, 0 books read.
I like that.
So I've got things that I want to.
Okay.
So we'll talk about that on, what day is today? Wednesday?
Today is Wednesday.
Wow.
So we'll talk about that on Friday, because I want to do a tease for Friday's show. I just started watching the documentary. I forget which streaming about For Fans Only. Have you heard about this? For Fans Only? Oh, okay. So I'm going to tease that, because it's like Instagram on steroids. You pay a fee and you get stuff only the fans get. And it's a huge moneymaker for people. Huge.
It's bizarre to me. Is it mostly sex stuff?
Not always, but yes, a great deal of it is sex. A lot of it is just the exclusivity of, oh, I get to talk to this person. They're going to send me a note. I'm the fan of the week.
This is very interesting how our society is evolving in this direction.
It really is, because the thing that I'm starting to look. I just watched a little bit this morning, is that the people that have decided just regular people, right? Not celebrities that want to have a fans only. They were getting upset because some celebrities started doing fans only, and they're like, that's not fair. They already have a base. Listen, they're celebrity for a reason. They put in their dues, they put in their time, and now you're mad because you're Joe Blow and you're not getting this. Here's the thing. One girl, just a regular girl, started twerking. That's all she was doing, showing her little hiney twerking.
Go on.
10 grand a month. It's a different world now, man. It's a different world.
It's crazy. Well, let's talk about it on Friday. But yeah. I've got a lot to talk about that. I'm pissed off at Bill Clinton too, because he's got a new podcast and he's already surpassed our 20 viewers.
No, Bill Clinton has surpassed us.
I know. I'm pissed off. He's already famous. What does he need more people for?
Does it need more people? All right. So next week we will talk about goals. We'll set up some goals to be accountable. We'll talk about for fans only, because maybe we need to set up an offshoot of a for fans only of unpacking some shit.
Well, we could the podcast version of it is Patreon.
Oh, okay.
And then you come up with some special content. I suppose you could do it for fans only, but podcasters usually do.
And maybe that's what we need to find out. What do our fans want us to do? What would they like to see if we had a fans
Keep
only?
it to 30 minutes, get to the topics, a few more jokes.
Where's the music?
Oh, I want to do improv games too.
Okay, and we'll do that. So we'll do that on Friday. So those are all teases. So before we wrap it up, I know, Tom, you love giving the tip of the day. So
be flexible is my tip of the day. Have a plan. Be ready to deviate. Maybe somebody shows up with a crazy eggplant dish in the middle of a show. You got to be able to go with it. Right?
I love it. Be flexible in all things. Yes. Tip of the day. I'm Melinda McKinsey.
I'm Tom Wise.
You've been unpacking some shit with us today.
See you on Friday. See you when I get glasses. That's another one in the can.